This is going to be a message for the sign of Pisces. Pisces, my messages are timeless, so when you see them is when you're meant to hear them. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, please don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you can get alerts when my videos are posted. Pisces, if you're new to my platform, welcome. Hit that subscription button. It would totally mean the world to me. O Cosmic Creator, source of all life and light, you are my shepherd, guiding me through every valley, every shadow. I lack nothing, for you lead me beside the still waters and restore my soul. In your presence I find peace and strength, for you're with me always. Your rod and staff comfort me, and your love prepares a path before me, even in the face of adversity. Grant me the serenity to embrace what I cannot change, the courage to change what is within my power, and the wisdom to discern the difference as I walk each day in faith. In the presence of your infinite grace, I am unafraid, for your kingdom flows through me as it does all creation. With deep gratitude, I give thanks already for the miracles already set in motion in my life. Shift what must be shifted, move what needs to be moved, and illuminate my path with your divine light. Align my heart, my actions, and my soul with your will. For I know you have already provided the strength, guidance, and blessings that I need. I release all fear and I surrender fully to your higher wisdom. May your goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life as I dwell in your sacred presence, now and forever. Amen. So Pisces, before we were taught, we were truth. Before we were named, we were essence. Thank you guys for being here. I know it's a little bit, later than our normal time, but we're fully here, okay? All right. So happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for coming on in. Happy Thursday. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. So affirmations. I existed before the story. I returned to the truth beneath the name. I existed before the... Okay. They just covered my whole entire screen up. What is that? I did not ask for none of that. I existed before the story. I returned to the truth beneath the name. There's a big ass blackbird right beside the door, setting off the alarm. Just walking. What I am cannot be taught. It can only be remembered. What I am cannot be taught. It can only be remembered. We have, I release every label that was never mine. I release every label that was never mine. My essence is older than language and louder than fear. My essence is older than language and louder than fear. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Pisces, before we were taught, we were the truth. Before we were named, we were essence. So, before anyone ever told you who to be or how to be, how to act, what to believe, or what to fear, you were. You just were. We just existed. And then, we were given parents, grandparents, people to tell us right or wrong, wrong from right. Before you had a name, a label, or reputation, you existed fully, freely, unapologetically. Because kids are just free. They just do whatever it is they're doing. Hey, Jamie, welcome. Thank you for being here. You were not a personality. You were a presence. You were not a product of the system. You were a spark of the infinite. Your existence didn't need permission. Your light didn't need proof. And then people needed to teach you stuff. You had to grow up. You had to learn because it's part of the programming. They teach them, they teach us. And it keeps going and going and going. Some were subtle, some were sharp, some felt like love, and others like shame. But all of them carved a way for our original selves, for your original self, for my original self. We were taught to be realistic. We were taught to be appropriate. We were taught to be politically correct. We were taught what it means to be a good girl or a strong man, a success story or a failure. And somewhere in all the teachings, the truth got buried. So, when you were younger growing up and having a strong feeling to, somebody tell you something, one of the adults tell you something, and because we're not allowed to talk back, you don't say what you want to say, or you say what you want to say and then you get smacked in the mouth because, that was the way of the old world. But either way, we were learning as we were growing. But the thing that we was learning was what they wanted us to know. So somewhere in all of that, the teachings got buried. The truth got buried. And the naming, it wasn't just what people called you. Is what they decided you were. Oh, this is going to be my little star child. Oh, like parents do it all the time. This is going to be my little, Rebe Jackson or Michael Jackson or Janet Jackson or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever category you fit in. They told you what you were going to be. You know how when they asked you, well, what are you going to be when you grow up? And kids would say a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse, everything that was politically correct. Nobody ever said, I want to be a stripper, or I want to be a hoe, or I want to be so on and so forth. It's always, what's politically correct, what's appropriate. I want to be a spiritualist. I want to be a herbalist. I want to be, whatever it is. So before you even asked the question, you were handed the answers. And in all those answers, you forgot the original knowing, which your DNA has already taught you, with the universe connected to divine, with the language of the universal system. Because everything else outweighs that. They don't teach you, this is what you're supposed to be doing, honoring, earth, this, then, a third, yada, yada, yada. They teach you we need more houses, cut down trees. In order to get something, then you have to do, X, Y, Z. Sometimes it's not the best thing to do, but, there's a lot of stuff or a lot of situations where the system kind of maybe fails. Or depending upon the way you look at it, because we could potentially be thinking that it's failing when, meanwhile, it's working the way it's supposed to work. What is your perception of the situation? So you were taught what it means to be a good girl, a strong man, a success story, or a failure. What is right and what is wrong. So here's the part that nobody told you. Nothing can erase essence. Nothing. It may go quiet, it may get covered, but it never disappears. I just did a thing on the blog and it was talking about the information, the frequency, dimming it's a magic trick. Mind you, it's not an illusion, it's a real thing. It is like making your energy signature disappear. So you can walk in a room and all of a sudden, you ain't said a word, but everybody, it's like magnetism, right? Everybody's instantly just drawn to you because your energy, now we got thunder happening. Your energy is brilliant and bright. So when you're able to control this through this particular energy shift, you can make your energy go small or you can make it go big. And if you can make your energy go small, you can walk straight through a room full of people and everyone overlook you. It's a real thing. So it's actually written in I think it's the last blog section, but I put the information there. And everything that you need to do, that you would be able to do in order to test this theory out. So you would be invisible. Your energy signature would not exist. Nobody would look. But could you master that? Like, has anyone gotten to the point where they actually did it? And the answer is yes. So you have to look it up for yourself. Anyway, you're not the version of yourself that the world has trained you to be. You are the frequency underneath it. The one who still sings in silence. It's like, I got online earlier today. I went on Twitch and TikTok, right? And I was just really sitting there talking to myself. But normally I wouldn't even push, go on the camera. So I would just be sitting here, right? And then for some reason I was sitting here so long because I said I woke up so early this morning. It was crazy. But anyway, I just decided to push, record, right? And most of the conversations that was being had was basically, I wasn't talking to nobody. I was talking to myself because I'm always talking to myself. And I just recorded it. But I'm sure I'm not the only person. Not that it matters, y'all may think it's weird. But it is me. First of all, I'm in good company. I tell everybody that. Second of all, I was talking myself through the situation. I had to make sure that I got everything, knocked out because it's important. And it didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to, take me to get it knocked out. But anyway, I was on those platforms earlier and I was kind of handling the stuff that I needed to handle on the computer, but with them. And I figured I was coming here at 1 anyway, so, Anyway, you are not the version of yourself that the world trained you to be. You are the frequency underneath it. The one who still sings in silence. The one who remembers in dreams. How many of y'all can remember your dreams? Raise your hand if you're sure. Sometimes, okay? Dreams are important because it's like roadmaps and it's teaching you things, showing you stuff. Dreams also, help your intuition. It's confirmation. So the one who aches, not because you're broken, but because you're buried, which gave me the vibe, like, how they say they tried to bury you, but they didn't know you were the seed. And then you sprouted into something bold and beautiful and better. So how to start remembering? Turn down the world. Find sacred silence. Turn off the feeds, the phones, the internet, the TV. And just sometimes you have to take a moment, right? And I know some of these things are just simple, but I'm giving y'all simple and easy ways because we ain't even got where we need to get yet, okay? It is, I told y'all before, we always know what the problem is. What's the problem? How do I get past this, then a third? Y'all, again, expanding your mind because this shit is trippy. It's almost like having to unlock. So what I just seen earlier said this could explain it because it's a lot that, shows to my feed when it's time. All right, so it was a 3-car garage. And you could fit 3 cars in this garage comfortably, right? But what somebody did was, because the garage was so huge, they put storage from one side of the wall around to the other side. Like, I don't know what that would be called. Anyway, look like the Versace symbol, but literally 3 walls, okay? This, like this. All right, anyway, so mind you, they did that, but then they put like 36 doors in this place. It was not that many, maybe 12, but along the whole wall. So they could have not made as many doors. But anyway, so now you got all this huge ass storage around, but it's door after door after door after door after door, which made me think like, when you going into something new, you have to choose a door. Like, what was that? The Price is Right or something? Anyway, you have to choose a door. And depending upon what the door that you choose it's The Price is Right. You choose the door and then you get what's behind the door. So it's door 1, it's door 2, it's door 3, it's door 4. It's 12 doors in this house, right? This is real, which is weird. Not as weird though, because it made me think, because the lady, she kind of looked in one end and she said it goes all the way down, but I don't think she noticed that in the other end either. So it was almost ingenious. But why the fuck so many doors? But I get why so many doors. Anyway, which door do you want? 1 through 12. Write and rewrite. Journal all the things you were told about yourself, then challenge them. Ask, is this true? Or was I taught this? Because we have strong opinions and feelings about things that we were taught that we may not even, we may eventually figure out that we don't even agree with this shit. Hey, Katrina, welcome. Thank you for being here. Hey, Deborah, thank you for being here. So all of these things that we were taught, and what if we don't really care for, you know, whatever some of the rules and regulations were from what they taught us and what we know ourselves? Like, we know what we require. We should know that. So it's different when you're young and then there's somebody else, that there's a spokesperson or a representative, a handler. Anyway, so let the soul speak. Sit with your heart and ask. Why did that sound like that was super duper loud? And it was a frequency along with that. Sit with your heart and ask. What did I know when I still believed in magic? Do you still believe in magic? Mind y'all, I posted a part of this snippet of the cartoon. I told y'all I was fine tuning this thing, and I love the way the little thing, the little lady looks. But do you still believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? I do. But mind y'all, I love the fact that in my mind, magic is just the energy. So there is a way to do something, even when it came to the invisibility spell or ritual or whatever. It was simply learning to turn down your energy, your energetic field, your aura. Mind you, I told you, it was proven to be done. Because the brain is a real mysterious thing. And there's so much stuff that they don't even know, but things that have been, you know, looked into, speculated, kind of confirmed, but it leads to a little more trippy universe. So I told y'all, I'm noticing even for myself, the energy is doing some things that I never would have thought. Or maybe it's just that now that certain things are made aware, or I'm paying attention to different things, now you can tell that the energy is doing something all on its own. But we've already known that. We've always known that, because you can feel energy from a person. So I was having a great conversation yesterday, and one of the things that we was discussing and talking about was the energy of what's happening versus what you know is going to happen. All right. So because we can't see certain things, it's like surviving in a world being blind. We can't see certain things. But remember what we talked about, how they say your hearing turns up. Everything accounts for something else. So even though I can't see in the 3D where I'm going, I can smell it, I can hear it, I can feel it. It's like when you say, I have a feeling something good's going to happen. So you can't see it with your eyes, but you feeling it with the energy. The energy saying, see, this is happening. And then it happens exactly the way it happens. And so if you're in tune with your energy, you can feel when something bad is going to happen. You can feel when, you know, it's like something mysterious in the air. Like, I know something is on the verge of happening. I can't put my finger on it. I can't see it, but I can feel it. So even though things right now may be whatever they feel to you, whatever you feel, the air is so pure, like you can smell whatever that is. I can feel it happening. But maybe I just got a good imagination. But I just told y'all, because somebody would say that, but I just told y'all, I'm not the only person that's ever had a feeling something was going to happen and something did happen. This is a good thing that's playing out. Like, y'all had that too. So it's just the subtle things that we don't even think about when it's happening at the time, but when you start to hone into it and really start to feel that thing in the moment, in that moment of time, you'll start to recognize it even more when it happens. And then you'll get to be able to capitalize off of whatever that is. Take it how it resonates. Feel first, label later. Stop asking, what should I be? And start asking what truly feels right now. How you gonna get up here and blow your big old jaw? The lizard or whatever it is, you know how their stuff gets out like this? He just climbed to the window. So, you know, lizard, or what is that? For some reason, I don't know why I want to say iguana, but that's not a fucking iguana. It's a little lizard. He right here, anyway, in our business. What feels true now? Feeling is your first language. Let it lead. Because I got a feeling that that ain't right. Or I got a feeling that, you know, or some people just don't have a feeling of nothing. Like, that is like clueless energy. But when you're able to tap in and feel what you seeing or what you hearing, but you feel it, you see it, but you're feeling it. So you're not seeing it with your 3D eyes, you're feeling the energy. So you're not your roles. You're not your resume. You are not the praise. You are not the pain. You are not names they gave you. Period, point blank. You are the presence before the story. You are the truth that cannot be taught. Only remembered. So, if you've ever had a feeling, okay, well, I shouldn't do this because I definitely believe in magic. Katrina says she definitely believes in it. And I'm with her because, you know, it's a beautiful thing. You ever had a feeling, you know, something that you couldn't see, or maybe you know, could see it. It might have been a premonition, but going on the feeling. And you told somebody, don't do this because this is going to happen, right? And then the person half-ass listens. But anyway, because you gave them the information, they are unscathed from whatever the hell it is that you told them was going to happen, right? And so they make it back the next day. And the first thing they say is, man, you told me not to do such and such and such, so that put me on guard. And then this happened. How did you know? The universe was just talking to you and giving you the information, wanting to help you, wanting to assist in whatever that person, you know, may have going on. Or it may be something even for yourself. Like, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't see this person. I shouldn't take this job. I shouldn't go around this corner. Whatever the hell it is that you were told by a feeling and you listened to it, and then you ended up seeing the results as to why it was that you had that feeling or that inkling. When you start to trust that moment even more, it becomes more powerful. So, essence beyond labels. It's almost like having to unlearn everything that you've ever learned before. Passing down generational traditions and things of that nature because you don't believe in, you know, teaching your kids or your great-grandkids or the next generation for that matter. It don't matter who the hell kids it is. You don't believe in teaching them the what was taught to you. And there's nothing wrong with that because now it's like you doing the thing that is necessary to be done to now, you know, enhance the family lineage. So the root returns. Today, the earth is whispering. Come back to the beginning. Before the world taught you who to be. before the world taught you what you wanted, before the world taught you how to fear, where the root of the beginning is. A pure essence of you. The root holds your original frequency, your divine purpose, and your ancient knowing. Getting back to yourself, the real original light blueprint of you before the skin, got inserted, before the simulation got inserted, tapping into that energy. Do y'all even want to do that? Because again, ignorance is bliss. And before you know certain things, or before the universe starts to show you certain things, it'll ask you a question. Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to do that? And then guess what happens? The feeling will say yes or no. So are you sure you want to do that? Whatever it is for you right now, answer the damn question. Are you sure you want? You don't got to answer here. I'm just saying, but answer the damn question. Are you sure you want to do that? What is my original sound? What truth was I born knowing that I've forgotten? Y'all done heard me tell y'all multiple times. I came into this realm active, right? And active meaning like, light turned on. For different reasons, from what I'm thinking. Somebody else may think something different. It don't matter. Don't matter what they think. There's been certain signs to me that say, you've been doing, this or that for a long time and never knowing technically what that is. But other people said things to you, or your parents told you things that, like astral projection. It was kind of strange that, people would say that I was doing visiting in dreams and whatnot. Mind you, it could just be as simple as I'm awake at nighttime and another person is not, and they're sleeping, and I got heavy energy for that person, and all of a sudden the person has a sex dream. Mind you, it could just be the projection of the energy. I don't know. I'm just saying. Take it how it resonates. Or vice versa. They think about you, you sleep, all of a sudden, you getting down and dirty. It goes down in the DMs. Okay? However it resonates for you. Either way, how is that energy working? Because would somebody think that it is spell work or witchcraft if you have high energy for a person, right? Not that you're trying to influence the person in any type of way. It could just be, you just have high energy for that person. And then instantly, because this person now starts to feel high energy for you, is it the same? Did they do it or did you do it? I mean, because I don't think there's nothing wrong with a person having energy, but we also don't realize how powerful the energy is. So it could be doing something strange to another person inadvertently. Like, I didn't mean that. I mean, I meant it. Don't get it fucked up. But I didn't mean it in that sense. It was supposed to be a part of my, deep down personal private thoughts. I was not supposed to project that over there. You know what I'm saying? Either way. And then I'm clutching my pearls. The guy resonates. I don't know. I don't know. If it's ever happened to you, it may or may not have been that. All right, where I'm at. This is what happened when you playing around. So you're not personality, you're presence. You're not a product of the system. You're a spark of the infinite. Your existence doesn't need permission. Your light doesn't need proof. Then came the teachings. Some were subtle, some were sharp. Some felt like love and others felt like shame, but all of them carved you away for your original self. You were taught to be realistic. You were taught to be appropriate. You were taught to be what it means to be a good man, good woman, a success story or a failure, which I think I'm well beyond that. But hey, you were the kid who danced into. Okay, I get it. You were a frequency underneath it. You were the one who still sings in the silence. The one who remembers in the dreams. The one who aches not to be broken, but because you're buried. Okay, yeah, did that too. Sometimes you gotta just go back. Players fuck up too. That's what happens. Y'all, because my mind did something. It made me think about something, and then it just made me be like, oh. So I be learning in the process of some of the things, and then sometimes it don't ring a bell until I say it out loud. Like, with real words. So you were that kid who danced with no rhythm, but full of joy until someone laughed. Because we never know what anything is. We be being funny or anything else until somebody now wants to embarrass you behind it. Like everything was all fine. It was very innocent. But then until somebody else now comes along and they want to make fun of, ooh, your person, place, or thing. And now you feel ashamed about something that you were once proud of. But we really should not. But we never know until it happens. And then we don't realize how much weight we put on stuff. Because maybe like overthinking a situation. You were the person who knew you had a mission. Even when life looked ordinary. Like other people would say, you're not that important to the system. I am a chosen one. You're not that important to the system. Yeah, but you really are. Everything about you is important. Why I feel like hot, like the heat got turned on. It smelled like heat. Anyway, you were the soul who kept bending to fit. Why do we do that? Why do you feel the need to do that? And I'm not saying even now. I'm talking about, because if we're talking about growing up and what you were taught as opposed to what you have learned right now or what you're learning, because this world is so much different from then till now. You were the soul who kept bending to fit in when you were never meant to shrink. I am not what I was told. I am what I've always been. I do not need permission to be real. I am whole beyond words, free beyond fear. Before I was called anything, I was everything. Like your light being so bright. And all the hope and expectation of before, like I could be anything that I want to be. I could be a doctor, I could be a lawyer, I could be a nurse, I could be, the president, I could be an astronaut. An astronaut was on a list of what people wanted to be as a child, just so y'all know. But meanwhile, a lot of those things then people kind of put into you later on, it's unobtainable. When technically it was always but the restrictions. Because if you said I want to be an astronaut in front of some, particular people, they would probably all laugh. And now here you are feeling embarrassed and ashamed about something that really was like dreams and aspirations. So it gets kind of sad. Pisces, before we were taught, we were truth. Before we were named, we were essence. We didn't have none of that shit to worry about. It's like going back to, how they put it in the Bible, because, they always want to blame everything on the women. And then they say, before they knew they were naked. It's like your whole energy, before you realized, before you did something, before the original sin. I'll put it like that. And then, and you never knew you were naked, but now you realize you're naked and you have to put on a cover. The same way it goes with that cupcake thing that I told y'all about. The boy said, if it's a cupcake or a muffin. So if I take, mind y'all, I still got this old ass cupcake from fucking Pisces season. So the little cupcake that I had sitting here, you take all the cream off of it and then you give it to you, and then is it a cupcake or a muffin? I mean, you would think that it would be a cupcake still because it was a cupcake, but if you never saw that, and I gave it to you, that was the whole point. But there was a deeper meaning behind that. You were taught that this is a cupcake as long as it has cream on it. When it's no cream or no whip, no nothing on it, or whatever the fuck, it is a muffin. And you only know it's what I say it is. That's what he said. And so it's what I say it is after that. So if you saw it and you knew it came out of the oven, like once it, like the, what is it? The control, the chain of command, or the chain of something. Anyway, I don't know. Not the chain of command, but it's the chain of. It's like when this thing goes from this person takes the blood and then another person, whatever the hell it is. Y'all know what I mean. But anyway, chain of custody or something. I don't know. It has to flow a certain type of orders in order for you to know. Because if you was there when it got baked and you could see it, then you would know whatever it was. But it could have been whatever. Listen, the point of it is y'all get it, cause I got it. But the point of it that is it showed up on my feed, which led me to know that here we go again. New levels, new devils. Now there's doors. You have to choose because these are like, this is like the beginning. So when something starts, all right, let's see what else we got on this board. Anyway, how y'all feeling this afternoon? Let me know. Katrina, how's your day going? Excuse me. So long before systems carved this into categories, before colonization, before labels, before the world tried to fit us, our spirits into cages, we were free. We were light in motion, sound before speech, essence before explanation. This message isn't just poetic. It's ancestral. It's cellular, like to your core. Okay? Especially for the sacred remembering, because we are technically being like repackaged, continuing to come your light body here, to, you know, gather whatever information you need to gather, do whatever you need to do. Some people say this is, you know, prison planet, whatever the fuck. Some people say this is heaven. You just have to make it that way. It is whatever your perception of it is, right? Because what you go through is not something that somebody else goes through, and what you think could be traumatic or a problem also might not be traumatic or a problem for somebody else. It's just the experience that we're having. Anyway, so my mind seems to want to travel into just the thought of, suppose you didn't have, you know, your upbringing that you had. There was nobody around. And I mean, absolutely nobody. But somehow it was everything that the world had made, you know, from the beginning. And, you know, whatever it was that you had to do. You were able to and allowed to grow up uncorrupted by anything, you know, things of the world or whatever. And I don't know how that would look. So, but untainted, uncorrupted, but still with so many different options. However that could be created, what would be the difference in society even right now? Because one of the things that I'm learning is now's the time for something to come to fruition. All right, so I grew up in a time when there was no computers from the beginning, right? Then all of a sudden there was computers in every household, cell phones, all of that shit, right? So it's been around now long enough to see what the effects of whatever has happened, you know, has gone on or is being exposed or whatever, right? But will they tell us? Will they tell us what the, you know, what this has done? Because we're always evolving. We are always growing. We're always, you know, should be ascending, right? So if back in 1976 when I was born, autism and things of that nature was whatever it was. It wasn't what it is now. Um, Now it's so world spread or widespread. Um, Slept in, felt good. Majestic Grace, hi. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Then I woke up and food was here just for me. It's giving surprise and the energy, honestly. Plus, I'm here with y'all at noon. It's giving surprise for referral. Surprise, period. Surprise, surprise. So, what are the effects of stuff that we did 20 years ago? What are those effects right now, even honest? Energetically, spiritually, um, mentally, physically. So what have we done to alter our systems from that point to this point? And then even for us, getting to know the truth and, as much as we can, you know, um, for ourselves, understanding you and what you are. So much different because I feel like a lot of my core values were really good because I just, I'm not just doing fuck shit. Um, some people's core values you can tell are shit. So I don't feel like, as for me, I don't know. It don't feel like as for me that they were ones I would want to get away from. So it seems like, that was good, some good stuff there. There was some stuff that I, not would not want to go, do the same repetitive behavior, no. But as far as core values, boundaries, and things of that nature, some of them could have been a little bit tighter boundaries, um, but they weren't that bad. We had to unlearn and relearn so much along the way, and we doing it again. We doing it again because this is what this means. Before we were taught, we were truth. Like, get into the core of yourself. It's like the conversation that I told y'all that I had many times with y'all and with my brother about how when you don't have people to take care of, that is not any more of your identity. Yes, you're a mom, but you're not a mom in the sense of you have little children that you have to take care of. Everybody's grown, so you have your own life. Yes, you could be a wife, a girlfriend, a friend, a cousin, whatever label that life has put on you, right? But that motherfucker is really fucking up the bugs. Apparently, he is just eating everything moving. An ant just came up, and the lizard just went in to work. And when he ain't working, eating on the bugs, he's at the window being in my business. So he must be a monitoring spirit. What you looking at? So whatever label you're wearing, whatever hat, because when you're the mom, you all the hats. You're the housekeeper, the doctor, the therapist, the this, the that, whatever hat you're wearing at the time, right? But these are things that now have shaped you because of you dealing with other people, this, that, or third. But when it's just you, your own mind, your own thoughts, your own spirit, your own whatever, just you and the universe, what is it? What is the truth about you? Because of course a person can say like, oh, Sasha, that's just the way Sasha is, but technically that might not be the way Sasha is. That might be the way that they labeled, you as a person. I'm not that way. I may have done some stuff that, but how would a person know? All they know is what they see. So that could also lend towards a thing where, excuse me, and us really getting to know ourselves, we have to also be accountable even for the ugly truth. Because if 9,000 people say we're not that way and that's not the way we're trying to come off, and we don't correct it or anything else, then sometimes our behavior is just our behavior and we just have to be okay with it. This is me. But I don't want other people getting in their head that, and they can think what they think because, it's the thing. But don't think that you know me in any form or fashion based off of anything that you have seen, whatever. But that's how people get to know you. You see what I'm saying? So it is so many different aspects to this. But what do you know? What do you know? That is a constant, a consistent, a straightforward truth about you yourself. Before you got a name, before you got a title, before anything, you were what? You were sent here to what? You were activated to what? For what? For why? And then they switched it up. So can we get back on task, on assignment before the system got corrupted? Because that's basically what that was. The root to who you are before survival mode, before performance, before protection. It's the part of you that don't apologize for your magic. It's the part of you that a lot of us seek for so long until, whatever the breaking moment is, or until whatever the, the thought-provoking, this is why I'm here, the epiphany, whatever, it takes for you to get to, that. I'm not going to apologize for who I am, what I say, but I'm also not going to offend. I don't know how one thing goes with the other or how it goes against the other, but take it how it resonates. Pisces is the elder of the soul of zodiacs. It holds the memory of everything, of all. Pisces realm truly isn't taught, it's felt. Identity comes from outer names, like celestial. It rises from inner knowing. This sign doesn't just ask you to become anything, it whispers, come back. Come back to the dream, to the real one. Come back to your own sound, your own medicine, your own rhythm. Come back to who you knew you were before you got trained to forget. Before you were taught how to act, before you were taught what to say, before you were taught the system, the game. You're not a role, you're not a struggle, you are not a trend, you are a soul. A soul older than oppression, deeper than pain, and louder than silence. Your roots stretch beyond conditions. Your essence wasn't born into a system. It came out to outlive it, to outshine the situation, to shed some light on it. Sooner or later, we all come from, I gotta go, love you, have a blessed day, you too. Sooner or later, we will all come to the conclusion that something has to change, or something is changing, or there's some growth, right? And this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. I didn't ask anybody else for their opinion on it, or for, hey Kevin, Redman 100, hi. Souls, and I saw all them things. Kevin always writes that. Anyway, you have to determine what the true you is, what you're being told, how you're being guided. And it may go against anything and everything you were ever taught. It may go against some people that you're dealing with now. It may be a totally different direction, because I feel like also in the process of this, it is a life-changing event happening. Movement. And it could be out of city, out of state, out of the country, or wherever, but maybe it is like other people saying no, 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 but your spirit, your soul, and everything else is telling you that your destiny or your next phase is going to, that don't necessarily mean you won't be able to, come back or do whatever it is you might want to do, but long story short, do whatever your spirit is telling you to do, because before you were taught, you knew, you understood the assignment. They try to get you to forget. They're training you to forget. So that's all. That's it. That's all. Love you. Thank you for being here, and go with God.